Mikel Arteta is finally close to getting his number one midfielder that he wanted in the January transfer window from Real Sociedad, known as Zubimendi, and a story coming in from Spain has confirmed to us that they are really close to agreeing terms with Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? Good morning, guys. It's really a huge day for you, and United has gone ahead to lose to Brighton by 1-0. Coming in late after that, handball by Luke Shaw that was really sloppy, and I've gone ahead to slate him, and I've seen certain fans coming out and saying, why do you go for him? Because I'm going to hate to do that, and that happened onto the United Matters channel where we only do Manchester United content. But here it's the Arsenal news show. We are talking Zubimendi close to Arsenal, as Declan Rice is another midfielder that Arsenal are really targeting, and Simon Collins, the Arsenal correspondent for the Evening Standard, has confirmed to us that Arsenal not only want one midfielder, but they want two central midfielders. That's why we've gone ahead to put all these stories together, Zubimendi and Declan Rice. And lastly, Jacobs Ben has gone ahead to throw more light onto the linkage of Olle Watkins to Arsenal and what he thinks his thoughts are about that deal of the player known as Olle Watkins. So let's see close to 200 likes smash on this video as we continue to support this channel day in, day out. Now, the first story that I want to talk about today is all about Zubimendi. He's a 24-year-old midfielder playing for Real Sociedad. He's one of those players that are going to hate to take Real Sociedad to the Champions League. And Arsenal was so much interested in this player in the January transfer window. But the player said, I won't go out of Sociedad because if at all I leave, I'm going to really let this team crumbling in the middle of the park. I want to see this team qualify for the Champions League. Being a born of Real Sociedad, I have to find myself in a position of taking this team to the Champions League. And after giving them that honor, obviously, I can leave because I would have known that they're going to go ahead and really get in more money from selling me, and then they'll be getting in more money from the Champions League. That is a player known as Zubimendi for you. And today there is a journalist coming in from Spain, obviously known as Javi Miguel Club. He has gone ahead and really told us that Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi is very close to accepting an offer to play at Arsenal next season. A move to Barcelona has been rolled out. Zubimendi is really a very talented midfielder, and the beauty of him is that he can play both in the CDM and in a double pivot. You know, you can play him in a midfield three when he's not playing as a CDM, when he's playing as a box-to-box midfielder, because of his qualities that he's really having onto the ball. He's really a very good midfielder, and I think you love him at Arsenal. But what shows you his quality and how good he is, it's Xavi calling out for the board of Barcelona to sign the player, and Barcelona had gone ahead to come in through and really identify him as a replacement for Sergio Busquets. And if at all you know Sergio Busquets, to me, he's one of the best midfielders gone ahead to really bless the planet Earth ever since the season of 2008, when he really came in through that Pep Guardiola side that really played I think it was 2009 that he really played well, and obviously went ahead to win the Champions League. They beat Manchester United by 2-0 in the finale. That team had Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Pedro, Gerard Piqué, Dani Alves, and very many others. So that is the player I'm talking about. And I think if at all you know Sergio Busquets, and that man you see in the picture is known as Zubimendi, who was identified as a replacement for Busquets, and it shows you the level in which this player is. He's Spanish, and I think Mikel Arteta is not going to have to sign very many Spanish players at Arsenal. Has he signed any Spanish player at Arsenal? Because he brought in Gabriel Magalhaes, he brought in Benny White, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Thomas Partey, Trossard, He hasn't signed any Spanish player, if at all I'm not mistaken. You can as well remind me those if at all I was going ahead to sign a Spanish player, meaning that it's now high time Arteta went ahead to sign some players from his nation, that is Spain, where he really loves and where he was born and bred. But Zubimendi is a very good player, and I think he will go ahead and really help Arsenal. This season he's going ahead to play 31 games, scored 1 goal and put up 2 assists. That is Zubimendi for you. He's a very good player. So much good on the ball. You know, he's press resistant and his ball distribution is really great. Every time he's really thriving into the middle of the park, you'll see a very good player that will go ahead and really improve that midfield of Arsenal. So it shows you that it might find Arsenal in a situation of really going in for him, because agreeing personal terms I think is not going to be hard, because Arsenal had already talked to his agent, and during the January transfer window they had come to a compromise, but the player said, no, I'm not leaving Real Sociedad. The buyout clause of this player is 60 million euros. That is close to 50 million pounds. I think Arsenal can really get themselves a bargain of this player, because he's really one of those players that could easily find himself in a position of really going to Manchester United, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and very many other teams. So it shows you that the quality is really huge for the player. And the beauty of this season is that there is a variety of players, especially in the central midfield and the forward positions, even the defense positions, you know. Central midfielders that are really available on the market, that are really hot: McAllister, Caicedo, Paulinho, Matthias Nunes, who plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers, Zubimendi, there is Jude Bellingham, there is Gravenberch. Which other central midfielder that is on the market? There is Lavia, Declan Rice. I'd forgotten about him. How come? So they are close to 10 classy midfielders that are really available, and I think it's all about for Arsenal to go on and really make a choice on who they want. But Zubimendi is a very good midfielder that can give Arsenal a lot of possession in the middle of the park. The big question is, how long is it going to take him to cope up with the Premier League? But I believe he'll cope up with the Premier League, because Odegaard has gone ahead to come in through and obviously cope up in just 1 or 2 seasons. But it remains in question of who is the priority signing of Arsenal. And Simon Collins, a correspondent of Arsenal for the Standard Sport, has gone ahead and told us that Arsenal are ready to invest heavily to make quality additions for next seasons, and will target players who they feel can help them compete in the Champions League. Declan Rice is Arsenal's top target, with 2 midfielders, a centre-back, and possibly another forward, their main priorities, meaning that Arsenal are really needing 2 central midfielders, because after talking about Zubimendi, one will go ahead and ask me, where does it leave Declan Rice? Where does it leave Caicedo? Meaning that Caicedo and Zubimendi, one of those players is going to come in at Arsenal, and I think the financial difference or the financial reasons will see Arsenal pull out of the Caicedo deal to go in for Zubimendi, because Zubimendi is going to be 20 millions. It's going to be 30 million pounds cheaper than Caicedo. And before Arsenal went in for Caicedo, the first player they went in for was Zubimendi, meaning that Mikel Arteta is more attracted to Zubimendi than Caicedo. That's it. So as it stands, you might find out that if at all a deal of Zubimendi is agreed early enough, that means Caicedo is going to be a very big cross, because this summer Arsenal's priority target is Declan Rice, as confirmed to us by David Austin, and I know he gets this news from credible sources, and I think he was really so much on point when he really told us that Declan Rice is really the number 1 target of Arsenal. And leaving Simon Collins alone, even Sammy McBall of the Daily Mail, he's one of the chief reporters there, went ahead to confirm to us that Declan Rice is Arsenal's priority target in central midfield. Rice is open to joining Arsenal, but West Ham's £100 million valuation could yet prove a stumbling block. Romeo Lavia is also of interest, with the club remain keen on Moise Caicedo. So you've seen 3 names being included into this, but Declan Rice is the priority signing, with the story coming in from Spain confirming to us that the player has gone ahead to find himself in a position of really agreeing or close to agreeing terms with Arsenal. That shows you how Arsenal will go all out and really sign in a player known as Zubimendi and Declan Rice, because when you get Declan Rice at £80 million and you get in Zubimendi at 50, that is £130 million, meaning that you'll be left with some money to go on and really sign in a central defender, a left-footed midfielder that is attackive to compete with Bukayo Saka, and a centre forward. As I told you earlier today, Arsenal is in need of 6 players. 6 players. 2 central midfielders, 1 centre back, 1 right back, 1 forward, 1 centre forward, and 1 right attacking midfielder with a left foot. So that's what we are getting from Sir Mick Bo, that Declan Rice is the priority signing and Arsenal is needing of 2 midfielders. I think it's going to be Declan Rice, a must gate for Arsenal, because they are in for him and they really want to get the player. The player wants to play in the Champions League. I think Arsenal's going to have to secure their Champions League position. Now, Declan Rice is one of those players that's going to hate to admire to playing in the Champions League, and the likes of Chelsea that he supports are really out of this conversation. So that means that Arsenal is going to find itself in a position of really carrying on to the next level of the signing Declan Rice, and I think they're a more attractive project than Chelsea, because the way Chelsea is crumbling, it's really bad, and if at all West Ham goes ahead to win its game, they might even finish ahead of Chelsea. So I think Declan Rice will have every reason to come out and really play for one team called Arsenal, and I think Arsenal is really a more attractive side to very many players, and they really want to sign in English players because they feel like they need to add on to more home talent into their team, because it looks like they're shite of that. So to me, I find it so much possible for Arsenal to sign Declan Rice and Zubimendi, because if they are to sign Declan Rice and Caicedo, they'll have to spend close to £160 million, something that the board of Arsenal won't really allow if they're going to be in the Champions League, because the salaries of players of Arsenal are going to increase for the very first time in 7 years, because they're going to be playing into the Champions League. Then, I've watched Caicedo today play for Brighton against Manchester United, and he first played at the right back, and I saw him really close down Marcus Rashford very well. So it shows you that there is a lot that you get from really signing Caicedo. He's a versatile player that can come in and really help you, like in the situations in which Arsenal are in right now. Moise Caicedo would have gone ahead to help them a lot and play onto the right back as Thomas Partey and Jorginho work out in the central midfield, as Ben White drops deep into the central defense on the right side to go in and play into that Saliba position. So it shows you how Caicedo is a good player, but even Zubimendi comes in through and plays there in the central midfield and the double pivot, because of his price being £30 million cheaper than Moise Caicedo. So we are going into a very interesting summer. Arsenal are still monitoring Moise Caicedo. They have already gone ahead to agree personal terms with him, and that sends a message to you that it might be either be Caicedo, Zubimendi, or Declan Rice with Caicedo or with Zubimendi. But the fact is Arsenal are going in for 2 central midfielders. Now, one of the players that Arsenal are really looking at to sign is a centre forward. We all know that, and there is one who has always been talked about. That is Olle Watkins, and Jacobs Ben, while on the Court Offside podcast, had the following to say about Olle Watkins. He told us that links with Arsenal are premature at this point. Talks are ongoing with Aston Villa of a new contract, and there remains confidence within the club. Watkins will extend his current deal until 2025. Watkins is very open to extending. And Villa will be in a stronger position if they qualify for Europe. So, Olle Watkins is another one that Arsenal were chasing in for, but we've been told that it's really premature for the player and they don't really want to sign him at Arsenal. And to me, that is really a very good scouting report for Arsenal, because if you're Arsenal, you wouldn't want to find yourself in a position of signing a player like Olle Watkins. Do you know why? He's known different from the strikers you are having. You know, if you're Arsenal, you would go in for Dusan Vlahovic because he's tall, you know, and he's a clinical finisher. He gives you something different. He can be played alongside Jesus, you understand? So I think Arsenal should go in for a more different kind of striker that bring a little bit of dynamism into that front line, because Jesus has confirmed to you that he can play alongside any center forward. So if at all you sign a world-class striker, that won't be bad for Arsenal. So let's wait and see who Arsenal is going in for, but I 100% guarantee you that if Arsenal doesn't keep Florian Balogun, they'll find themselves in a position of getting in a world-class striker to come on and tussle it out with Jesus, because one of the reasons that will be given to you if at all Arsenal doesn't lift the trophy, that of the Premier League, is they lacked quality off the bench and quality in competition, because some players believe that they have nothing to lose even if Arsenal doesn't win the trophy, because these positions have been really given to them. They've even added their names to those positions. So that's why Arteta is working tooth and nail to get in a centre forward. But Olle Watkins is ruled out. He's going to sign a new contract until 2025. That is, those are how many years from now? More 2 years from now, meaning that he'll be really closing down to a new deal with improved money. So your thoughts on to Zubimendi close to Arsenal agreement are welcome in the comment section below. Then tell me your thoughts on to Declan Rice, Caicedo, Lavia. Who do you want to see come to Arsenal, because they are now 4 midfielders: Declan Rice, Caicedo, Zubimendi and Lavia. Mikel Arteta is going to pick 2 out of those 4 to be made the perfect signings of Arsenal in the summer. Who of those would you pick to become the 2 new central midfielders of Arsenal next season? And lastly, Olle Watkins, do you think he would add something better to Arsenal? All that and more into the comment section below. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim friends, Juma Karim. Bye-bye.